I'm going to continue by zooming into the Codecademy Python section 5.5, which is lists and dictionaries. Point 2, list capabilities and functions. Great work with lists. Now let's learn about some of the cool things you can do with them. Cool. Okay. Let's see. Late arrivals and list length. A list doesn't have to be a fixed length. You can add items to the end of the list anytime you like. In Python, we say lists are mutable. That is, they can be changed. You can add items to list with the built-in list function append. Means that you're appending something, like the word appendix. It's like comes at the end, something extra. List name. So you're gonna say list name, like suitcase, which is a list name. It's empty right now. You're gonna append sunglasses. So all of a sudden, suitcase index 0, the first slot will now have sunglasses. And it says here, you can get the number of items in a list with len function. Okay, it is short for length. So saying length of the variable here, in this case, will be 0 because it's empty, but after this will be 1. Append 3 more items to the suitcase list. Maybe bring a bathing suit, then set list length equal to the length of suitcase. Okay, so you can say, here it's easier to do first. The list length will equal to the length of my variable, which is suitcase. So I already have that. Okay, and the code here is asking me to append 3, so 3 more, right? Yeah, 3 more items. So it's all gonna go by this. There's gonna be a space for a string. It's gonna be again. Why don't I just copy this 3 times? And what can go into my suitcase? Usually shirts, like business shirts. Let's say hair dryer for ladies, and let's say toothpaste. And now I got 3, and I'm gonna check how long do you think the length will be. So we appended 1 here. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be 4. So and then it will say there was system actually print there are 4 items in the suitcase, and then we'll print what is actually in the suitcase. So let's scroll back. There are 4 items in the suitcase. There's sunglasses, shirts, hair dryer, toothpaste. Proceed to the next exercise. List slicing. Now this is very cool too. If you only want a small part of a list, that portion can be accessed using a special notation in the index bracket. List name A:B will return a portion of the list name starting with the index A. So remember, you always have to think about starting with 0, and that's the first one. You have to count right, and end before the index B. So if you tell Python my underscore list 0, 1, 2, 3, and then you select 1, 2, 3, so you're really saying 0, 1, so 1, 2, 3, it would only give you 1, 2. Okay, give you the basically this is the second slot to the 4th slot, but you don't quite reach it right before the 4th slot. So leaving the original list unchanged. Check it out. So you can set my size equals to that. It would not affect the original list. That's what it's saying. You can make it affect, but this function itself doesn't, which is somewhat nice sometimes. Use the list slicing to make a list called first that will composed of the first 2 items from suitcase, a list called middle that will contain only the middle items, and then last, which will make up for the last item. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, but the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first 2 items will be easy. It will be suitcase. You have to do slice. No, you don't have to do slice. You can just say the first 2. Remember, it's before the 0, 1, 2, before 2. Okay. And the middle one will be suitcase, and it will start with 0, 1, 2. That number. 0, 1, so I'm counting has 1, and 2, 3, 4, so before 4. And the last ones will be 4 till 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 till 5. So I guess I would say 6, even though there aren't 6 items. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's correct. So Codecademy check for me. And I would be very curious if this is right, because there are only 4, 5, really 0 to 5 indices. So 6 shouldn't really be there. But if I put 5, it won't be correct here. It will be an error message, right? The last slice isn't correct, so it's pretty smart. It checks your answer. It has to be 6, but there's, I'm a little curious about it. It might be just a workaround to teach us easy things. And in reality, that's actually bad practice. Slicing lists and strings, you can slice a string exactly like a list. In fact, you can think of a string as a list of characters. So saying, for example, eat, it really is a variable, let's just say the word, and it has 0, which is index 0, which is E, the letter E, and 1 would be A, and 2 would be T. So if your slice includes the very first and last item in the list, the index of the item does not have to be included. If your list slice includes the very first or last item in the list or string, the index for that item doesn't have to be included. Here's an example. I don't quite understand it, but I'll get back to it. My list. Oh, okay, great. This kind of solves our problem from the page before that I had question on. Okay, so what is really saying, so I'm going to save this so I can come back to it. Really, this has worked, so I'm going to comment it out. This has worked. I would say better form. It will be last equals to suitcase 4 till. You just don't include it because really I'm trying to say it's the last one. You should include it. So that should pass me, and that's a better way to do it because there's not really index 6. So that kind of shows me very nicely the index actually ends. So people don't look for, what if people just continue writing the program, trying to look for the next value. Okay, assign each variable a slice of animal. Okay, that spells out the variable's name. Okay, so cat equals to the first 3 character, right? So animals, which is one string, is 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, 1, 2 to before 3, and this is gonna be animals 3. 3 is D, 4, 5 before 6, and animals. There we go. We're gonna start with 6, and frog is 4 letter 6, 7, 8, 9. So before the end, and use that cheat sheet again. Actually, I don't need even 0 here, right? Because it's just gonna start from the beginning. So there's some error message. Line 4 in the module. Animals is not defined. See, when I spell wrong, like previously numbers, then they can't recognize that. It will correctly give me an error message, and it's very, very important I take that and troubleshoot.